All right, we're about to dive into one of the most incredible mysteries in the Islamic calendar, Laylatul Qadr, the Night of Power. This is a night that's packed with so many blessings, and it holds a promise that is, well, almost unbelievable. So let's start to unpack what makes this single night so incredibly special.
So it all kicks off with this number, 1,000 months. Now, what does that actually mean in real terms? Well, it means that the worship you do on this one night, it could be more valuable than all the worship you could possibly do for over 83 years. Just let that sink in for a second. That's literally longer than the average person's entire lifetime. The scale of that is it's mind-boggling.
And that immediately brings up a huge question. How? How is that even possible? How can 24 hours, just one single night, carry the weight and reward of an entire lifetime of devotion? This isn't just some random number. It's a divine promise that's really inviting us to figure out its secret.
Well, the answer comes directly from the source of this night's immense power. Its incredible value is tied to one single, monumental event, the very first revelation of the Quran to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So you see, its greatness isn't just about getting personal reward. It's about celebrating that exact moment when divine guidance began to flow to all of humanity.
The name of the night itself, Qadr, gives us even deeper clues. It has these amazing layered meanings. First, it means power and grandeur, which totally reflects how significant the night is. It also means destiny or decree, because it's believed this is the night when our fates for the entire next year are decided. And what's really fascinating is that it can also mean constriction, which sounds strange, but it's because the earth becomes literally constricted, just so filled with angels descending from heaven.
And when those angels come down, led by the Archangel Gabriel himself, they bring this overwhelming sense of tranquility. The Quran actually describes it as a night of pure peace, this celestial calm that just blankets the earth from sunset all the way until the first light of dawn. It's a kind of peace that believers say they can feel deep down in their hearts.
But this is where the mystery really begins. You see, in His wisdom, God hasn't told us the exact date of this night. And what that does is it turns the end of Ramadan into this kind of sacred hunt, a 10-night search for this unbelievable opportunity. So how do we even begin to look for it?
Thankfully, we're not left completely in the dark. We're given a huge clue. The Prophet, peace be upon him, guided all the seekers to look for it within the final 10 nights of Ramadan and to focus especially on the odd nights, so the 21st, 23rd, 25th, 27th, or 29th. That right there narrows the search and really helps us focus our spiritual energy.
And it's not just about the date. There are also these subtle signs that we're encouraged to look for, both in the world around us and inside ourselves. The clues are really gentle. A calm, moderate night, not too hot, not too cold, a feeling of deep inner peace that just feels tangibly different from other nights.
But maybe the most distinct physical sign actually comes the morning after. It's said that the sun will rise without its usual piercing rays. It'll appear soft and gentle, almost like a full moon. And some scholars have explained this by saying the sheer number of angels ascending back to the heavens actually shields the sun's rays from the earth. How amazing is that?
So, if we're on this spiritual quest, what should we actually be doing? How do we make the absolute most of these nights? To answer that, there's no better place to look than the Prophet's own example. He gave us the ultimate guide.
The way his devotion is described is just so powerful. When these last 10 nights arrived, he would intensify everything. He'd stay up all night praying, he would wake up his family so they could join him, and as the saying goes, he would gird his loins. And that's this profound metaphor for just complete, total dedication. Basically rolling up his sleeves for worship and even stepping back from worldly relations to achieve the ultimate spiritual focus.
So his example gives us a really clear, actionable path to follow. His practice really focused on 4 key things. Standing in long, heartfelt night prayers, also known as qiyam. Deeply connecting with the Quran by reciting it and reflecting on it. For some, entering seclusion or itikaf in the mosque to just completely disconnect from worldly distractions. And maybe most importantly, constantly, sincerely asking for forgiveness.
And the reward for all of this sincere effort, well, it's immense. The promise is that anyone who stands in prayer on this night with true faith and really hoping for that reward will have all of their past sins completely wiped away. It's like a total spiritual reset button, a chance for a clean slate.
But this brings us all the way back to that central mystery. If this night is so important and the reward is so great, why not just tell everyone when it is, right? Why hide it? Well, the answer to that question reveals this really deep spiritual wisdom.
And the answer is actually beautiful. By hiding the exact night, God encourages us to strive with dedication through all of the final 10 nights, not just to focus on one. It completely transforms the end of Ramadan into a spiritual marathon, not a sprint. The real transformation happens in that consistent effort, in the sustained search. So in a way, the quest itself, the striving, the anticipation, the devotion, that becomes part of the reward.
And so that leaves us with the most powerful tool for this entire quest. When he was asked what prayer we should make if we find this night, the prophet, peace be upon him, taught these simple but incredibly profound words. It's a direct, humble, beautiful plea for the one thing that's so generously offered on this night, forgiveness. And it leaves all of us with a final thought. On your own quest, what will you be seeking on the night of power?